Oh, I think we're here. What's going on, everyone? This is a special rendition of Life and Transitions Experts, where I'm here down at the estate office with my man, Nick, Clerk. Nick, what's your last name?
Ageli.
Ageli, all right. Mr. Nick Ageli, clerk with the Durham County Superior Clerk's Office. So, Nick, share with everyone, what is it that you do here in the estate office?
So, I mean, we do a lot of different things. We probate wills, open estates. Whenever there is an estate open, we process annual accounts. We try to get, the estate closed. But really, I mean, what the estate process is, someone in your family, someone close to you passes away. They're going to have assets that are still in their name. And, sometimes accounts have a beneficiary named. Sometimes if there are joint accounts, it's set up to automatically go to the surviving spouse or whoever, or there can be a trust that's automatic. But a lot of the time, people pass away unexpectedly, or just, with a lot of their affairs not in order in the way that they'd like them to. So in those situations, you're going to have people at the bank, at the DMV, wherever saying, okay, well, if the person whose name is on these assets isn't here to speak for themselves because they've passed away, we need something to show that you have that authority. And really, that's when people come to our office to get qualified as that authority.
So you can't just go to the bank and say, hey, my uncle passed. He said he was leaving me half of the money in the bank. You just hand it over to me.
Yeah, and really it's, if someone did have a will, then they bring the will to us and we make sure that it looks, up to North Carolina standards, and we'll probate that will and qualify whoever's named as the executor in that position. We'll officially put them in that position, we'll qualify them. But a lot of the time people pass without having a will, or maybe they did have a will, but it can't be located. And then at that point, we follow North Carolina intestate laws. Was their spouse, or the children, or the siblings, stuff like that. And really, where it gets tricky for our office is whenever we are following different statutes and, trying to navigate the law without any of us being attorneys. Like none of us are able to practice law, so we can't give legal advice. So that's where it gets kind of complicated. And Courtney here, I mean, I think that we have appreciated what he's trying to do, because a lot of the time people can't afford attorneys for everything that they're dealing with. So, to have someone who knows what they're doing, but also isn't in a position that we might necessarily be in, where, we need to be really careful about what we say and what we don't say.
Right. Well, I really appreciate that. Still appreciate the work you guys do. So when you see these families, because you're seeing, like you mentioned, so many different type of estates that may be opened. I know it's a generalization because there's so many different types, but what have you seen as help someone be prepared when they come into your office? What are some things that you can say to folks that are, or maybe preparing to walk into your space? Maybe they have an appointment set up in there. Okay, what do I need to, what helps me help make your job easier and make their process even easier?
I mean, really what I tell people very frequently is don't overcomplicate it. Because I know that, especially because of the situations that people are in that bring them in here in the first place. Someone's passed away, you're going to be grieving, you're going to be dealing with that completely separate from the legal and, financial aspects of it. You just lost someone. But I think because there are a lot of different terms, which vary from state to state, you hear probate. Oh, but what does that mean? Like, it can mean different things in different places, and depending on the context which you're using those terms. So it can seem very stressful, very complicated, and it sometimes is, but not necessarily always. So I would probably advise just don't assume that it's going to be super complicated and stressful and stuff, because it may or may not be. But at the end of the day, everyone in our office is going to do as much as we're able to do to try to make it as simple as possible. And for me personally, I mean, because I don't want someone to have to go, pay someone if they don't want to, or if they're not able to, I'm going to do as much as I can personally. But if we hit a certain wall and there's advice that is necessary that I can't give, I'll let you know. But yeah, I think that, yeah, really, I would just say, it's,
Oh yeah, it's coming in right now. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pause for a moment. You all see that Nick is a busy man. The state office is super busy, but one thing that I did hear from you, Nick, is that the process could be complicated, could be simple, but if you just, I almost sound like hear you saying, just remain calm, take it one step at a time. Don't overcomplicate it by the anxiety that you may bring. People are going to be here to help, and that's what it sounded like I was hearing you say.
yeah, I mean, don't overcomplicate it, and just do what you can to feel in control. And I mean, for me, that normally looks like, whenever someone passes, a lot of the time they'll call our office and like, hey, what do we need to do? And it's like, well, maybe nothing. Like,
Right now,
if you go and try to get access to a bank account or try to transfer something over, and they tell you that you need something from us, then you're like, okay, well, I need to get something from them. I need to open an estate or whatever. And then at that point, we'll tell you what we need from you to open that estate, or to, get you the documentation that you need. Like if you need letters of administration, or if, you're a surviving spouse and it's been less than a year, we can get you a year's allowance.
Right.
But we'll always tell you what you need in order to get that documentation from us.
So don't think you need to know steps A through Z, when you might just need to know there's step A and B, and let me get there, and then I'm going to know which direction to go. Well,
yeah,
I appreciate the time. I was going to ask you one more thing, though. Like, what's something that you enjoy about working in the office?
I mean, I think really you're dealing with people who are going through a difficult time, whether that means they're in here, obviously having a very emotional experience, or if they seem fine. People deal with it in many various different ways, but at the end of the day, everyone is going through something if they're in our office. And I think that what I enjoy is being able to just, make things as easy as possible for them, and make conversation, and try to, like, for at least a moment, help them forget, what it is that they're going through.
Appreciate it. Folks, hopefully you find yourself going through the process, you'll find deputy clerks like Nick that are, compassionate and knowledgeable and willing to help. If you do need help navigating the probate process, we'd love for you to check out the State Pro Service. We'll point you in the right direction. I'm not an attorney or a financial advisor, but just sharing the experience that's hopefully help you streamline the process. Yeah, and then other than that, rising tides lifts all sails. Thanks, Nick. This is awesome, man. Boom.